Hi, this is Mr. Payton. Welcome to the next episode in Mindset. Today's question is, what are you listening to? I want to separate this question into two parts. The first part of what are you listening to deals with music, messaging, videos, anything that you can hear that may influence you. I am 100% a fan of hip hop. I don't listen to everything that's new, but I know enough about what's going on. The 21 Savages and the J. Coles and so I know enough about what's going on. I'm not as deep into it as some of the kids are. But I can tell you this, the stuff I listen to is not school appropriate. But there's a reason for that. Obviously, I'm an adult, in my late 40s. And so I understand that type of language, those types of concepts are not right for the class. Sometimes kids are like, Mr. Payne, can we play music? And I tell them, well, you got a clean version. And they kind of roll their eyes. And what I'm trying to get them to understand is that it's not that I'm trying to act like I'm above those bad words or those ideas, but I want them to understand there's a time and place. But I also talk to them a lot about, is that the only thing you listen to? Because I also listen to jazz and R&B, and I'll listen to some pop, I'll listen to some classical. My musical tastes are very wide. Most often, young people, their musical tastes are not. And so they're getting the same messaging over and over and over. So if every song drops an F-bomb or an MF or calls a woman a B, then that's the only reference point you have. For me, I've got that reference point. I've got a Rage Against the Machine reference point. I've got a Najee reference point. I've got a Miles Davis reference point. I just keep going and keep going and keep going. So I've got several different viewpoints. A lot of what we listen to should include some variety. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say you should listen to educational music, because I understand that's not what music's purpose is. It's for entertainment, and for a lot of us, it's to decompress. It's to get away from life and that kind of thing. So I'm not going to try to ruin your musical experience. But I do want you to be mindful about listening to angry music or listening to things that demean a particular group or a particular culture. Part two of what are you listening to has to do with your circle, okay? It has to do with people who say things like, why are you studying? Or the person that says, why are you dating her or him? Or the person that says, why are you wearing that? You have to start to think about what the people around you are feeding you. Are they speaking life into you? Are they speaking fear into you? You just have to think about where their life is and why they might be saying what they're saying. That becomes a very difficult proposition. So now you have to determine if those people aren't speaking life into you, they're not speaking joy into you, they're not speaking positivity into you. You may have to limit, and in some cases, eliminate those people because those voices are not good for you. Likewise, if you have family members who don't speak positivity into you, you have to find a way to deal with that. Now, especially those of you who are at a certain age, you don't have the option to leave your family or ignore them. But you have to find a way to lessen that impact. And so what you're going to have to do is match whatever it is that you're hearing from those folk with something that's equally as powerful, but most importantly, equally as positive to the negative you're getting from them. Let me give you an example. If you have a brother or a sister that's kind of getting on your nerves and says some negative things about you, whether it's about your appearance or just about the things that you do, then you got to get, whether it's a podcast or whether it's a song you like or a movie you like, but something that you can get in your ear to combat what you just heard that's positive and that's uplifting to you, then that would be a good response to that experience. What's important to know here about what you're listening to is that your brain is processing this stuff. And so for me, I'll give you a great example, and this is really difficult for me to share, but when I was younger, I didn't necessarily hear the word I love you all the time. And so I consciously remind myself to say it to my daughter. I don't want her to just think I love her just through my actions. I want her to hear the words. I've read so many books and read so many articles about people who said, I wish my parents would have said that a few more times. I wish they would have said it more often. So I'm very mindful of the words that I speak into my own daughter's life. And again, I can tell you from my own experience, I didn't necessarily hear that word a lot. That doesn't mean I wasn't loved. It just means I didn't hear it. I didn't, I literally didn't hear those words. I don't want her to have that experience. I want her to be able to say she heard it, she felt it, it was everywhere. And so those are just some examples of what I mean when I say, what are you hearing? What are you listening to? As we continue to move through this thought process of our mindset, what I'm trying to do is take the senses, take our experiences and take our behaviors and try to bring you to a place where you understand that everything you do impacts your mindset. Okay? I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you're enjoying this series on mindset. I hope you like this video, and I hope you subscribe to my channel. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.